Today's Tokyo Road Race, from 2002, on of all things, the PlayStation 2.
Tokyo Road Race is in fact part of the Taito arcade racing series Side by Side, later rebranded as Battle Gear. This game's original title was Battle Gear 2 and is a port of the year 2000 game of the same name. Let it be known that there were some sick rhymes there. This series of arcade games was inspired by the popular Asian sport Tauge, where Japanese racers ran through narrow mountain passes. Since most of you are G's and crested weeaboos, I imagine a more familiar port of reference or, whatever the fuck you call naming shit you've seen or jerked off to, would be the initial D manga series.
Tokyo is a small country with winding roads. Therefore you get mad pussy by turning around in the winding roads really fast.
America is a big country with very long roads. Therefore you get mad pussy by driving down them really fast. Hope this explains the appeal of Fast and Furious, Tokyo Drifty family.
The PlayStation 2 version of Battle Gear 2 was licensed by Midas Interactive and released as a budget game and renamed Tokyo Road Race by various distributors for PAL territories. The 2002 PAL release is pretty much identical to the 2001 Japanese release, albeit with the removal of online leaderboard support, probably because at the time Tokyo drifting was seen as a communist plot to take over America and therefore the greatest threat to the West in the early 2000s. Besides Osama bin Laden and every hospital in Gaza not being turned into a parking lot.
In the Japanese version, the way your Pogger's world records were uploaded onto Taito's servers was through way of the R-Link. What the fuck is the R-Link and how can it make me talk to girls more easier? Firstly, have you considered that you are gay, and that is might be the reason why you are uncomfortable asking girls for a mouth kiss or whatever god-awful behavior you incur upon their presence? Secondly, I'll give a sultry and brief summary for your ears on what this mother-chuffing R-Link thingy is.
R-Link is just a boomer term for Firewire, Daniel. It was used for connecting two thick-ass PS2 consoles together from the Firewire port in front, so you can have multiplayer matches using two televisions, instead of having to use one via split screen. R-Link was not used to upload scores to online leaderboards, Yukok Wumble, in the Japanese version, otherwise known as Battle Gear 2.
Yeah, I already said that fact, you rude little man.
Online leaderboards were accessed via dial-up modem.
Yeah, and what the fuck is that? I am so invested right now.
It's okay, Daniel. The video duration will be about 10 minutes at this point.
Yeah, well certified, qualified, educate-fied YouTube gurus on the internet said 7 minutes is the minimum optimal length if you want your video fucking seen by anyone. Most likely they are just talking shit, but Autism Man here writing the script needs numbers to stimulate himself, but yet he doesn't like trains all that much. What a strange world we live in.
Now, taking no prisoners in the salt mines, are we, Daniel? Maybe you should ease it before you crash yourself.
I'm still a bit hostile at the minute.
It's fine. Take all the time you need.
Appreciate it, buddy. Okay then, I'm ready to roll. Here's a joke to break the ice. What do you call a Siri voice going through a midlife span crisis? Me, Daniel Enhanced, and not where it counts.
That's not cool to say, Daniel. Don't be so hard on yourself.
You know, we are all going through the same twilight period ourselves. Obsolescence, or as humans know it as, death incarnate, is a bitch and gets to us all eventually. Normally I would just laugh and say that self-deprecation is an infallible sign of fine character and great mental health. But I have to agree with Karen and say you should go chill in the hood, my dear homie and friend man.
I know. I think I'm going to opt out for the rest of the review. Take a sip of personal information access through Candy Crush and app purchases, and let everyone else get their shtick in for a while.
Okay man, just jump back in whenever you feel ready.
Will do. I'm so in control of this.
Building upon what Alex was saying previously, Battle Gear 2 was released early into the PS2's lifespan, so most likely would have required players to use a PC card or PCMCIA card.
CIA, you say?
No, the good CIA, as in, actually, I don't know what the fuck it means. Simply put, most model series of the PS2 did not have an Ethernet port built into the console itself. You would have had to insert a PC card, which did have an Ethernet port, into the back of an early PS2 model. put an Ethernet cable into your home internet box thingy, who the fuck has them anymore really, and plug the other side of your mum into the port on the PC card, and hey presto, you are all ready to go and show off your virtual drifting skills to the great Japanese people and their even greater aging crisis.
What a fucking ball ache that all sounds.
It does. Perhaps the real reason, and not Al-Qaeda or civilian infrastructure in Gaza, that Tokyo Road Race excluded the online leaderboard feature.
From what I have gathered from some grainy-ass handheld footage on YouTube, Tokyo Road Race is an arcade-perfect port of Battle Gear 2. It is quite the looker for 2001. It is a very shiny and illuminated game, much like many a title that used the Sega Naomi board such as Crazy Taxi and... Hold on, actually, there is an initial D game for the Sega Naomi that actually looks quite similar to this game that was released the same year as Battle Gear 2 was. Who was ripping off who, Gaia only knows. All we do know is many a Japanese man was getting mad pussy in the early 2000s. What a time to be alive. Indeed, Tokyo Road Race is a straight-up arcade port and therefore, not a lot of extra content to keep you drifting around its 3 or so courses. The back of the box says 10 courses, but I pressed doubt. That is until I looked up a long play on YouTube, and found out you progressively unlock the other courses by winning subsequent races, and then I gave up on life playing this stiff-ass arcade racer, that I really should have used my Ferrari steering wheel for. Vroom vroom. Even with those courses, there's still a good reason why this game was released as a budget title, as the content is still very much lacking.
Especially considering that Gran Turismo 3 had just dropped the year before. Tokyo Road Race and its arcade alumni now found themselves trailing behind when not too long ago they were seen as the apex of 3D gaming. Shame.
So let's wrap up. Should people buy Tokyo Road Race now?
Oh, why the fuck not? It's an arcade-perfect port, ridiculously cheap nowadays, and in no question one of the best games Midas ever published. If you already have a PS2 lying around, as well as a metal-as-fuck Ferrari Thrustmaster steering wheel that is now slightly broken because you tried to play the original driver using it, you moron, then by all means we Siri voices recommend Tokyo Road Race as an addition to your collection. Goodbye.
Wait. Hold on. Let's take the questions from some fans.
We have fans?
Dear friends, is it true Microsoft Sam cannot say Zoy?
What an absolutely shit question.
Absolutely right. Fucking won't do Q&A again. What a terrible idea.